Hello and welcome! This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Stellaris. I just finished off a war against the Sirgog League, which was victorious, and we gained a few planets, as well as a planet that went to my allies over here. So we definitely squished down one of my rivals quite well. And right now I'm just trying to bring my fleets back together. I didn't realize I had this big fleet sitting here this whole time the war was going on, but I think they were a defensive fleet now that I think about it. So it's getting to the point where I have a lot of space and I need to build up some nice big fleets. So I'm going to have one fleet in test. I'm going to have another one down here in orbit. And then I think I'm going to have yet another fleet over in this space. Probably along this border, in case we have any conflict here, although these guys are pretty powerful, so I'm going to want to avoid that if I can. So we're going to have a fleet here, a fleet in test, and a fleet somewhere over here as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and progress. We have a lot of things going on. Alright. And once my fleets end up back in test, we can merge them all together and figure out what I need to produce as far as fleets go. And did I unlock the tech for battleships yet? I think I did. Let's go take a look at test. And we need to upgrade our spaceport so we can build battleships. Alright, and let's take a look at the other planets while we're at it. Ooh, debris continues to be analyzed. Nothing good there. There's a bunch of debris still needing picked up that my science ship will be working on. I also have to survey a lot of planets here. And this fleet is just hanging out, not doing anything. Have them go to test as well. So, pretty good territorial gain here. We've solidified our access to a lot of this area here if we want to. Now, unfortunately, we have a problem where we don't have strategic resources for one of the planets that I gave to the sector, complete. And there's nothing I can do about it because I gave them to that sector, unfortunately.
Construction complete.
All right. Let's go through the planets and see what I need. So, surface here. We can upgrade. Alright. Keep having population move around here. How about you go like that? That way we're working this building. And we're actually looking at no food growth. So I probably want to switch some things around. How about you go here? There. That's better. Now we have population growth going on. And when this population pops, it will get another food growth. And we should be fine. Alright, so I continue to be behind in society research, so I figure we go to Biolab. And let's just go through, make sure everything is upgraded and where it needs to be. So we have a lot of things needing upgrades over here. For the most part, I was trying to get the population that had grown here to not be unemployed, which it looks like we've gotten close to being in the realm of that. So let's just go ahead and start upgrading these mining networks. I do have a lot of, and we might as well have time tick while I'm doing this. And we will upgrade this power plant. All right. Next planet.
Debris analyzed.
Alright, more debris. Okay, just physics and engineering research. Also, I want to keep an eye on my science ships, as that guy is done, finally. But it does say there's still debris here. Yeah. Research that, please. And then you'll be done, and then you can go and get the rest of the debris. Okay, so where was I? I was on one of these planets. Okay. And it looks like we have a bunch of upgrades we can do. Let's start with the food production, as on a growing colony. That is always important. And then we'll upgrade the mining stations. And how's food looking? Okay for now. Now I could upgrade the spaceport and kind of help a little bit there as well. As a matter of fact, I probably want to do that on all of my new worlds. Is upgrade the spaceports a level. Okay. Let's go on to the next planet and do the surface, though. Alright, so again, upgrades. Oh, I should be having time tick while I do this. Let's focus on the hydroponic farms first. Okay, another death. An admiral, okay. And another hydroponic farm. And as far as population growth goes, it looks like mostly just science on the rest of this planet.
Complete.
Although we could have them come over here and work that. And maybe by the time I'm done doing all those upgrades, they'll be ready to build a power plant. So why don't I go ahead and do a basic power plant. If I can find it in this longer and longer list. There it is. Okay. So I got research. And I have one more planet to look at. Okay, so this was shields. So let's do new research. And we can continue going down that route. Or we can do synchronized defenses. So this is a station modifier. It's a rare tech. And it's fairly cheap. We have a strategic resource that I have yet to do. So it's a naturally occurring stimulant. Okay, so you can pacify hostile individuals with this. That could be useful for... I do have some factions, and maybe I can get rid of them with that. But you know what? I'm going to go with the synchronized defense. It's a kind of a rare tech. We'll go ahead with that. And I did have an admiral die. I'm not too worried about that. We're not at war at the moment. And do we have... How many fleets do we have here? Okay, merge up, guys. And then we'll deal with that. And these guys, outside of the science ship, are also going to merge up. Alright.
Construction complete.
Okay, so Tess can now build battleships. And I don't necessarily need to do that right now. But I'd like... Well, I have to design it first, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and design. We do have upgraded ships now, so battleship. Let's go ahead and go through for the first with the weapon systems. Well, actually, what hull do we want? So I do want large slots. I like this one so far, and I can switch it later if the other ones look like a better choice. All right, we got this one. Larges and mediums. 2 larges, 2 mediums. That sounds like the best one. Do with that. And then this one. We've got 1 large or 2 mediums. I'll go with the single large. All right, so we've got 3 larges and 3 mediums. I'm sorry, 4 larges. How far along before we get this? Quite a while, so we can hold off. Go back to the ship designer. Okay, so now that we have the hull chosen, let's do weaponry. So large mounts are going to be space torpedoes. Medium mounts are going to be the X-ray lasers. And the small mounts are going to be my point defense. All right. Now for the other ship systems. We have hyperdrive level 3. We're going to go with aggressive combat stance. Best thrusters we can get. Best sensors we can get. And Ooh, we have something else here. So we can go with ship-mounted nanobots, which repair hull. We can do... Alright, you know, this is tempting because it stops the enemy from being able to run away. I don't know what the range of it is, though. Let's go ahead with that. Now, the one thing I'm curious here... My one fleet... I'm going to have to see if they need repaired, but we'll focus on that later. Let's first do the design here. So I'm going to assume we're going to need a lot of power, so we're going to need to put in a fair amount there. Might as well just do all the large. And we have new levels of shields. So let's do the medium slots with those. Okay. Can't get away with that. Alright. Maybe we just put the advanced shield here and there. Okay, good. Now, that's pretty close to where we want it, so let's just do hull now. For the rest of the slots. Or armor, I should say. Alright. So, that's that design. Let's go ahead and save that. And our other ship's going to be upgraded with new shields, but I actually am going to hold off on that until we have more of a reason to upgrade them. And then over on test, I'm going to build... First, I'm going to get... I don't have the battleship assembly yards. What are other things I could do? Ship upkeep. I don't know if I have any of these strategic resources, so... I can't... Oh, I can build this one. This gives me kinetic weapon damage. Well, I don't use kinetic weapons, so... Oh, see, I didn't know that the Telstar resource did other things. Okay, well, as I said, I don't use that. So let's just build the battleships here. We'll build 2. I mean, that runs through a lot of my minerals. Okay. And we have a construction ship not doing anything. That should not be the case. As a matter of fact, we have 2 construction ships not doing anything. So, you're sitting around. And I need to survey all these planets, though, before I can actually do anything. So you just sit there, I guess. And you, on the other hand, have more stuff to do. You have science to pick up and what have you. This is within my borders. And this is a good amount of science here. So let's go build that. And I also have some other science here and there to pick up, but we'll do that one first. And we'll go from there. Now physics research is actually on the up. Alright. And now we can grab all the ships here and merge them up. We should have a nice sized fleet.
Construction complete. Debris analyzed.
Alright, so Tundra World. Okay, so I can go with more leaders. I can get a bio lab. I can get sector limit. I don't know if I need that. Terraforming stations, which allows our construction ships to build terraforming stations in a planet's orbit. And we also get strategic resources. So these are mined from gas giants. Terraforming gases represent an assortment of gases such as hydrogen and helium. Okay. So we probably need this resource to be able to terraform. Then we have terraforming liquids. Okay, so these pretty much... We might need both of these resources to be able to terraform. So either we get this or we get... Well, this is cheap. And I like the idea of maybe being able to terraform. Also, I have this one, but I know it's a rare tech, but it's come up a couple times before, and we'll just take this. Okay. Now that we have some leader slots open and we can do things, let's take a look at recruiting stuff. So, oh, we also have a science ship not doing anything. Where are you? All right, so you're there. All right, well, you have more debris to pick up. over here. So, project, project, and research project. I don't think there's going to be much of a yield for a lot of these things. As long as this continues to be the case, we'll do it. What's my other science ship doing? Oh, they're surveying? Oh, yeah. They're surveying over here. Okay. We have a lot of surveying to do in here when we get the chance. Oh, and I was going to do leaders. Okay, leaders. All right, we have no admirals, so I want to leave some space open for a couple admirals. So honestly, we can only recruit one more person. And none of these guys are good, so let's do a governor. All right, well, I love the blocker clears, and this guy's nice and young, so we'll recruit. And dude, we haven't lost our other blocker clearer yet. Okay. We already have a governor here. As a matter of fact, we really don't need the blocker clearers right now, but let's just go through. Let's figure out where I don't have governors and where could use governors. All right, so this is one of my more important planets. I do have a population that is really unhappy. So let's go ahead and grab the governor there. Gives them experience at the very least. And maybe getting the leader expansion would be a good idea in the future. Let's go ahead.
System survey complete.
Okay, so that science vessel
Complete.
is done. Is this in Testor? Okay, that is in Testor in space. So we can tell that other construction ship to go do things. Let's start by first coming over here, getting this research project. And then let's grab the construction ship over here and have it come in here because this is within my space and build a mining station to start off. All right. And let's take a look at the surface here. So we can upgrade this, so we might as well.
Construction complete.
All right. So all these fleets are full health. All right, so this fleet... all of the fleets have cruisers. Just some have more than others. Like this fleet here does not have any cruisers, really. But they're the one in test, and they're about to grab 2 battleships. They also do not have many corvettes. So we'll probably get 5 of those. So why don't I go ahead and do that? All right, we have like 1 construction ship done. All right, so I do see science over here and science over here. Let's grab this one first. Also, there's science here that I missed, but we'll go ahead and let it do the society research, which we do need. So why don't I go to test? Go to the spaceport
Analyzed.
and build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corvettes. Okay. Get some physics research. And we only have a couple more bit of debris to pick up, and then we should be good. For the most part. Matter of fact, it's probably time to start speeding things up, although this is about to pop, so we'll wait for that.
Research complete.
Okay, research. All right.
Construction complete.
So, got shield capacitor. Oh, I like the energy storage. I always like to get these when they pop up, regardless of how expensive they are. Although we do have the next level of point defense, which I also want.
Analyzed.
I said desperately want. I don't really need it desperately. More power generation would be good, but I think we're okay for now. So it's actually between the Guardian defense and the 0-point reactor, both of which could be good. And also, let's not forget, we have things over here. I think UV laser is actually a level down. Now, proton torpedo is probably not as good as normal torpedoes, I'm going to guess. But we do have some research towards that. Again, point defense, I have not seen this come up much. It is only slightly cheaper. But I kind of like having the next level of point defense. Yeah, let's go with that. Both things are tempting, and we get nothing from that debris. Alright. I think there's only one bit of debris left. Alright, what do we got? Alright. So just embassies being established. Pretty soon, I'm not going to be Federation President anymore. That ends in 95, which is a year away. And then it will be up to the Bothrians, who are so hemmed in by my borders, I'm not really sure if they're going to... And they're pacifists, too, so I'm not sure if they're going to do anything that we have to worry about as far as war or anything like that. All right.
Debris analyzed.
And some physics stuff. Okay, so we're going to have some things not doing anything. All right, you might as well get the research station as well. And then over here, we're done with all the debris collection. So why don't you start at one end of the new territory and go down from there. So you survey this system, and the other guy is going to come in here and start surveying these systems. And then we'll figure out where we need stations and things like that.
Analyzed.
All right, debris analyzed. So now we have another science ship. And I'll start you over here. Survey that system. And then the construction ship is the one down here. We have some more science to pick up. Go ahead and pick up the physics research. And then I think there's one other one. And we have some engineering research. And even more engineering research over here. And then we also have some other stuff that entered into our borders recently over here. So we've got some science and a lot of energy credits that we can pick up. So I'll let that ship do that construction over there. I'm going to assume that there's probably some construction here because of war losses, but for the most part,
Construction complete.
we've already got what stations that we need here. The next war might be against these guys, so that we can get the strategic resource here. All right. Just take a look at the planets and how they're doing. So we can't upgrade the biolab, so we might as well. And we can upgrade this mining station. All right.
System survey complete.
Uh-oh. More Neo-Tester stuff. All right, Neo-Tester representative visits Tess. A representative from the Neo-Tester communities on Schlargas have traveled to Tess to voice the grievance of his people. According to him, Neo-Testers are subjected to widespread discrimination by the Tester authorities on his home world. He is demanding we take immediate action to improve the situation. Worrying. Well, what action I can take, I don't know, because it's not really giving me an option. But it is escalating that conflict. All right. Over here, we can upgrade stuff. So let's do that. Well, I'll focus on upgrading the food production first. Then we'll do the mining. Okay. This planet is growing just fine. I did upgrade a lot of these spaceports so we can actually give them hydroponic farms to help them grow. Let's come back to the surface here and just make sure we're getting everything done that we need to get done. So this can be upgraded. Do that. Probably should have done the food production first. For now, we'll let that go. And then we'll come back, because that takes a while. And then over here, let's do the food production first, this time. Matter of fact, I can rechange that over on the other planet. It's not like the end of the world. Then we upgrade this. Yeah, let's change that. So this cancel, and we'll upgrade the other stuff first. Not worried about the mining, but the food production I am, because that gets the population growing faster. Then we upgrade this. Okay. Go ahead and advance time. Now, I might as well actually come into that planet and upgrade this as well. Alright. Gotta level up. Alright. I think that's the newly hired governor. And let's take a look at our empire and its demographics now. Because we have a lot of different
System survey
populations now.
complete.
Alright. Okay, so you come over here. You do here. And construction ship, which I'm going to assume is this one down here. Grab me this because you're close by. And then this construction ship. You're done over there, but we've got more territory here. So why don't you come over here and build mining stations? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look again at those demographics. So right now, our actual population of the Testors is actually less than 50%. But we do have a variance of the Testors. So this one here is that little blue sliver here, and then we've got droid population, which is this other blue sliver. Neo-Testors are the darker green here,
Construction complete.
I'm assuming. And then we have, I mean, there's so many different greens and blues here. It's actually kind of hard to make out which is what, but the Sirgogs are a pretty big population down here. So it's hard to tell, are the Neo-Testors this sliver here, or are they this one? I think they're actually this small sliver here, and then the Pagovans are this sliver. It looks like there's another sliver here, but I think that is just the line between two different things. Okay, so what do we have here? Subject integration begun. Okay. This has to do with my ally. And I don't know where this is. Where are you? So they're integrating the union of whatever that is, which I have no idea where that is. That's okay. I mean, it's our ally, so that's... Or am I reading that incorrectly? Oh, it's these guys down here. So they're integrating these guys. So these are vassals or subjects of them, and they're integrating. I don't know if I really care one way or the other. I mean, yeah, that's near my one ally, but I'm not going to be president soon, so not a whole lot I can do about it. That could be a potential enemy for these guys when they become president. Speaking of
Construction
vassals,
complete. Construction
what is this?
complete.
Oh, we already took a look at that. Speaking of vassals, let's take a look at my vassal. Ooh, didn't want to do that. Okay, so that would be under here, and these guys.
Construction complete.
I just see there's still a protectorate.
Research complete.
I don't think we have anything that we can really do with them. They're not a actual subject yet. They don't become vassals until they get their research up high enough. They have to have 40% of the research that we have. They get a 50% reduced rate of research to anything that we have. And once they get to 40%, they'll become an official vassal. So they're still this little empire here. All right, and we did get a research. So this is terraforming. We do have some terraforming liquids and gases, so that's good. It doesn't look like we actually have to build the station to get it. Oh, maybe we do. I'm kind of curious. Sometimes it just kind of grants you strategic resources. I wonder if it's because of the planets you have. Might be it. In any case, let's go ahead and do new research. All right, habitability goes up. That's not too bad. Resettlement cost, don't care. Leader recruitment cost, all right, don't really care either. Oh, so out of these, habitability sounds like the best of the bunch. I'm nowhere near my naval capacity, so I don't care about that. Leader recruitment cost is nice, but again, not necessarily caring. And resettlement cost, I'm not sure I really care. So let's go with habitability. And it does look like I have to set up. But some of these are automatic, like here. I wonder if it's because we already have stations in that area or what. But like, for instance, here we have nothing. We actually have to go collect it. All right, one thing we can do, though, is we can terraform planets. But we have to do it with a construction ship. I'm not really sure how that works. But, for instance, this ocean world. Could if I grab a construction ship, I just wanted to see what happens here. So if I right-click on... If I click on the right system... Oh, I don't have a colony here, but even if I were, let's just see if it allows me to do one here. Okay. All right, so we can't because it says there's already an orbiting station. All right, so let's take a look at a planet I already have somebody in. Let's say this one here, right? Right-click here. It does let me build it. And it would cost me 3 a month. And right now, I don't have command of that particular planet, but let's say I wanted Condi here. I wanted to make this more habitable. I could do that, and then we'd kind of have to see what happens with the planet, but I'm kind of curious how that works. But we'll just let it go for now. And as a matter of fact, this is a good point to put a cut in the video. So we unlocked a interesting tech, and I'd like to see how that works. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.